Hey, 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 you know what time it is. Neil Ratner Rock Doc here with a story. So, this past week in July 1964, the Animals had the #1 song in the UK with House of the Rising Sun. Now, if you're an old musician like me, then I'm sure you played this song in a band at some point in your musical career. And today, I'm going to tell you a few things about the song that you might not know. But as usual, a little background first. All right, so the tune is actually a traditional English folk ballad, and the first recordings were done in the late 20s. Now, in addition to the Animals, the song has been covered many times by artists like Leadbelly, Woody Guthrie, Nina Simone, Dave Van Ronk, and, of course, Bob Dylan, among others. Now, Eric Burton actually first heard the song in a pub in Newcastle, where it was being sung by folk singer Johnny Handel. The Animals were on tour with Chuck Berry, and they were looking for something new and different to perform. Now, according to Eric Burton, House of the Rising Sun is a song that I was just fated to. It was made for me, and I was made for it. It was a great song for the Chuck Berry tour because it was a way of reaching the audience without copying Chuck Berry. It was a great trick, and it worked. It actually wasn't only a great trick, it was a great recording. The band recorded the tune while on tour, and they did it in one take. After all, they had already perfected the arrangement from playing the song every night on tour. Now, according to drummer John Steele, we played Liverpool on May 17th, 1964, and then drove to London where Mickey Most had booked a studio for RTV's Ready, Steady, Go. Because the reaction we were getting to Rising Sun, we asked to record it. And he said, okay, we'll do it at the same session. We set up for balance, played a few bars for the engineer. It was mono with no overdubs, and we only did one take. We listened to it, and Mickey said, that's it, it's a single. The engineer said it was too long, but instead of chopping out a bit, Mickey had the courage to say, we're in a micro-groove world now, and we will release it. A few weeks later, it was #1 all over the world. When we knocked the Beatles off the top in America, they sent us a telegram which read, congratulations from the Beatles. I'll end with an interesting story about Dylan and his version of the song, which appeared on his debut album released in 1962. There was no songwriting credit, but on the liner notes, Dylan indicated that he got his version from listening to Dave Van Ronk. Now, according to Van Ronk, one evening in 1962, I was sitting at my usual table in the back of the Kettle of Fish, and Dylan came slouching in. He'd been up at the Columbia Studios with John Hammond doing his first album. He was being very mysterioso about the whole thing, and nobody I knew had been to any of the sessions except Suze, his lady. I pumped him for information, but he was vague. Everything was going fine. Then he said, hey, would it be okay for me to record your arrangement of House of the Rising Sun? Oh shit, geez, Bobby. I'm going into the studio to do that myself in a few days. Can't it wait until your next album? A long pause. I did not like the sound of that. What exactly do you mean? Well, he said sheepishly, I've been recording it. Well, Ronk went on to record it anyway. Neither of their versions became as popular as the Animals. Now, if you ever heard Dylan's version, you know he did it as a folk song. And let me tell you, Dylan was freaked out and amazed when he heard the Animals version a few years later because it showed him that you could put a rock rhythm to a folk song. And you know the rest. Bob bought an electric guitar, freaked everyone out at the Newport Festival in 1965 with his first electric set, and went on to be Bob Dylan. And according to Eric Burton, Bob Dylan, who was angry at first, turned into a rocker. Dylan went electric in the shadow of the Animals' classic House of the Rising Sun. All right, man. That's it. That's my story. Hope you enjoyed it. Beautiful weekend here. My book, Rock Doc, still available on my website, neilratnerrockdoc.com. Buy the book. It'll be my pleasure to autograph it any way that you want. Listen to me, Radio Woodstock, now Saturdays and Sundays, 3 o'clock. either on WDST 100.1 up here or on iHeartRadio. And some new things are going to come. I'm going to be developing what I'm doing here, but in a much more produced, cooler way with guests, etc., etc. You're going to hear about it soon. I may do it through Facebook. I may set up a different kind of site. I'll let you all know, but it's very exciting. It's going to be very cool. More of what you love, but in a much better way. All right. Have a great rest of the weekend and a good week. I'll see you again next week for another video on Radio Woodstock and all week during my posts. All right. Have a good day today, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.